Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
And yes, now together we are able to build Venom, Space Knight, Flash Thompson, as he was after hanging out with the Guardians and going cosmic.
Yeah, he even has, Nova Corps logos going on his shoulders here.
Now, he is a little shorter than our previous couple Build-A-Figures. Compared to Juggernaut and Rhino, he's a good half a head shorter or so.
Yeah, he feels more like a, Sandman type of size. Maybe even a little shorter.
More human.
Yeah, instead of being a big brooding monster, he's more of I guess he's just an upper-sized human.
Yeah, and he's a lot less bulkier than Rhino
But still bigger than any of the Venom figures that we've seen recently.
Yes.
Absolutely. And, again, do you guys remember a few years ago we had to, I did, spend probably half an hour at a Walgreens going through and finding you the best Venom?
Yeah, when they did Agent Venom, and the paint was so bad.
Because it was white over black like this is, because this is white painted over the cast black. And I had to search and search and search, and in most spots it's really good. I will say it's a little less on his gauntlets on his arms.
Yeah, you can see a little fade through on the inner arms.
Mine, looking at this, his arms are pretty good. The back of his legs, I have some pretty darn sloppy line work going on. It almost looks like somebody went over it with the fine tip Sharpie, and they weren't happy with their first try, so they went again, so there's doubled up lines.
In the torso, this is the first figure I've seen today where I notice holes in the paint. The spider logo has little black holes in it.
Ooh, I'm not getting that on mine.
Well, it's a good thing I bought multiple spider bitches now, isn't it?
Now, looking at the pieces here, I'm not recognizing any of these pieces. Maybe his upper thighs come from somewhere else, and maybe his biceps. But the rest of this has sculpting on it that is unique. I mean, his hands are unique. He's got, long fingernails. His lower arms have a sculpting to them there. Then you get up to even his shoulders. They have a little bit of a unique sculpt, almost like a shoulder pauldron.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at this very closely, and maybe the bicep, maybe the thighs. Everything else feels pretty new. Even, the butt feels a little more armored than some of the previous figures. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But, just even follow that, there's a line that comes starting right about where the ab crunch is, that comes down through his pelvic area and onto his upper thighs. So that almost looks like this was all sculpted for this piece.
Yeah. And in the back, look at the crease in his muscles that goes, butt to ab crunch.
Yep. Almost makes an arrow pointing down there, and it feels sculpted at the same time. But looking at the rest of this, his torso, do you recognize this torso with the neck part being kind of colossus-y feeling?
No, I don't.
Oh, that spider logo is sculpted into his torso as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is.
And this head is obviously new, but even though he does feel like a destroyer, it's a new sculpt.
I feel like, again, with the bulky body, I can't get quite the posability that I can out of some of the smaller figures after coming off such a highly articulated wave. His shoulders don't go back quite as far, and his ab crunch is a little bit looser. But, the big bulky figures aren't supposed to be the nimble ones.
Right. Just getting them posed somewhat is good enough for a lot of these guys. Overall, I'm digging it. Personally, I think some of the design, and this isn't really on Hasbro, this is more just on the design of the character, feels a bit weird to me, especially the backside. If you look at him just from the back, there's something kind of like dorky dad with white socks pulled all the way up to his knees going on there. It's just a weird look.
I do wish they'd taken the opportunity, though. You know I love the John Tyler Christopher action figure covers that pretend there were figures. He actually did a Venom Space Knight for part 1, and it had an alternate head that has this spacey head with a bunch of fangs and teeth. I would have preferred that head or loved that head as an alternate, but...
that would have been really cool. Maybe in a future wave they'll throw that in, just with a random figure.
Like they did with the Magneto head on Onslaught.
Yep.
So no, a really solid wave of figures. I think as we got to the end of the line, they kind of went down in quality a little bit with Spider-Girl and Space Venom here. But Space Venom, he's big. You'll never get him other than now, is my feeling. If they hadn't struck while this was a new character and everything, you would never get the Space Venom figure.
No, and, I'm glad to have him, and I'm also glad that this is a new figure,
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.